My name is Tiffany Hersey. I am the Instructional Technology Specialist at McAllister Elementary School, and this is the data overview for McAllister, and it is intended to allow us to take a deep dive into student achievement data, demographics, and ultimately consider action steps that will impact ELA achievement for all students in the future, and more specifically targeted learner groups. The intended audience for this presentation is the MES leadership team and 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade PLCs. As stated, the purpose of the data overview is to take an intensified look at the available school data. McAllister Elementary School is the newest school to the Bryan County School District, and it opened in the fall of 2015-2016. It is the first PK5 school in the district. All of the other elementary schools in our district are broken into smaller grade bands. For this data overview, we will review all available data to identify areas of strength and areas of growth. That information will allow us to identify next steps to develop actionable goals. In order to do this, we must dig into data to look for trends. So what data will we be looking at today? We will review school enrollment data, school demographic data, school attendance data, and finally, take an intensive look at school assessment data, where we will compare school data for 15-16 and 16-17 to that of the Bryan County School District in the state of Georgia. We will compare subgroup performance over a 2-year timeline, and finally, compare grade level performance over a 3-year timeline. This data will allow us to look for trends and ultimately identify strengths and growth points. Data sources for the overview were the Georgia Office of Student Achievement School Report Card, PowerSchool, which is our student information system, the SLDS system, and the CCRPI report. So here are some questions to guide our data overview. How does McAllister Elementary School compare to the district and state over time? Is student achievement showing an upward trend over time from grade to grade? Are there any subjects of concern or grade levels that raise a flag of concern? How does achievement data compare for learner groups over time? And when you analyze demographics and attendance data parallel to achievement data, are there any correlations to those target groups? And then finally, when you analyze faculty demographics and qualifications parallel to that achievement data, can we draw any conclusions, or does that lead to any additional questions? So let's start with student demographic data. Enrollment at McAllister Elementary School has grown each year, and it is projected to reach 1,500 by the year 2020. This school year, 5th grade students have been moved to portable units, as the 4-year-old school has already reached maximum capacity in the booming McAllister district. Exponential population growth presents many challenges, as the student body is changing each year, with more and more students moving into our growing district. The ratio of male students to female students has remained steady for the past 2 years, with more male students than females. However, female students did make a small gain in the 2017-2018 school year. The distribution of students by race and ethnicity has remained relatively constant over the past 3 years. 80%, a majority of the student body, is white, with 5 to 8% African American and 6 to 7% Hispanic, 5% multiracial, and 2 to 3% Asian. These percentages have remained consistent over the past 3 years. Student enrollment in special programs, however, has shown some fluctuation over time. Enrollment in EIP increased in the 2016-2017 school year, but decreased slightly in the 2017-2018 school year, while special education enrollment increased. This may indicate that RTI processes are becoming more effective at identifying those students that are in need of more advanced levels of services and intervention. Students identified as low SES have decreased by 20 students, while student population has increased significantly. While students identified as gifted continues to increase. Guidelines for gifted enrollment have become much more streamlined, and more students are being enrolled in gifted resource classes and advanced content grade level homerooms. Attendance is an area of focus at MES and for the Bryan County School District as a whole. The number of students missing 6 or more days has steadily increased for the last 3 years. Due to a change in the district policy from a 15-day to a 10-day limit, The number of students missing 10 or more days shows a significant decrease in the 2017-2018 school year. Looking at attendance by gender, historically, males missed more days than female students at MES. When we look at attendance by learner groups, students with disabilities have a slightly higher level of absenteeism than low SES students. It would be interesting to dig deeper to see how many students impact multiple categories. When we look at attendance by race and ethnicity, we see that white students miss the most days. However, this may be misleading as it is the largest racial group in the school. This is followed by Black students and Hispanic students. Again, it would be interesting to correlate attendance and achievement data to see how attendance impacts student achievement. Next, we will look at a brief overview of the MES faculty. Mirroring the student population, the MES faculty is made up of a majority of white teachers. Over 90% of the faculty is white, with only 2 African American faculty members. When you look at the MES faculty by gender, it is dominated by females. There are 3 male teachers on the faculty at MES and 1 additional male administrator. Finally, 41 of MES teachers reported having 10 years of experience or less in the 2017-2018 school year. 29 teachers reported having 11 or more years of experience. While the faculty is young, there is a strong mentoring program in place within the school and a new program district-wide Brian builds to establish new teachers with mentor teachers that support them for the first 3 years of teaching. Now we'll dig into some MES student achievement data. Here you see the MES milestones data for ELA for 2015-2016. At MES, students increased the number of students at level 3 and 4 for ELA from 2015-2016 to 2016-2017, but the number of students in level 1 increased for ELA in 2016-2017. However, students outperformed their counterparts in both the Bryan County School District and the state of Georgia. Here you see the MES milestones data for math for 2015-2016. Math scores showed a decrease across the board from 2015-2016 to 2016-2017, prompting a strong push for focused math professional development, including number talks, a math fluency initiative, and math data teams focus in all grade levels. You will see that this impacts the 2017-2018 scores for positive gains. MES continues to outperform their counterparts in both the Bryan County School District and the state of Georgia. Students in 3rd grade have shown 3% growth in 3 years, reducing the level 1 numbers by 3% and increasing the percentage of students in level 4 by 5%. From 2015-2016, MES students grew from 3rd grade to 4th grade, level 4, by 9 percentage points, only to lose 18 percentage points in 2017-2018 in 5th grade. 4th grade has grown 6% over the last 3 years by reducing the percentage of students performing at level 1. 5th grade has shown a slight increase in the percentage of students performing at level 1, which is an area of concern that requires further correlation of data. 3rd grade math has shown slight growth over the course of 3 years, with significant growth in the level 4 category. Students grew in the level 4 performance category from 2015-2016 3rd grade to 2016-2017 4th grade, only to lose ground in 5th grade in 2017-2018. This is an added area of concern. 5th grade math has not shown the significant growth seen in 4th grade math and is an area that requires further correlation of data. Females have outperformed males in ELA for 2 years in the level 3 and level 4 categories. How are we meeting the needs of male learners in ELA? Are we utilizing texts that are engaging to all learners? ELA achievement data by subgroups shows that Black students are not performing at the same level as compared to the whole school population. In this subgroup, there are 12.2% more students in Level 1 and Level 2 compared to the total population, whereas with their white counterparts, there are 17.7% fewer. What strategies are we using to differentiate learning for African American students? How are we engaging students in the ELA classroom? Lastly, we look at ELA achievement by subgroup. Low socioeconomic students have 20% more students in the Level 1 and Level 2 categories as compared to the total school population. And students with disabilities have 42.2 more students in the Level 1 and Level 2 categories as compared to the total population. It is apparent that these subgroups are in need of additional strategies and interventions to support learning in the classroom. So what does the data tell us? Strengths at Macalester: the student population is growing each year. Students in the more than 10 absences category is decreasing. MES achievement scores on the Georgia milestones outperforms both the district and the state. In ELA, we are reducing the number of students at Level 1 in all testing grades. In math, we're reducing the number of students at Level 1 and Level 2 in all testing grades. And in ELA, female students are achieving Level 1 and Level 4. In areas of growth, it's difficult to address the student population growth. Students in the 6 to 10 absence category is increasing. In ELA, we're not growing the Level 4 students from 4th to 5th grade. In ELA, 5th grade, Level 1 is growing. And in math, we're not growing the Level 4 students from 4th to 5th grade. Black students, especially low SES and students with disability, are underperforming compared to the overall student population. ELA scores are not growing at the same pace as math, and in ELA, male students are not showing as significant percentages of Level 3 and Level 4 as their female counterparts. So some things to ponder. For targeted learner groups, we could analyze teacher and student correlated data and dig into the faculty demographic data to see what teachers are teaching those students of highest need. We can analyze student demographic data to correlate subgroup data. Do students impact scores in multiple subgroups? Do other factors impact achievement, such as military students and mobility? And what services are available for our targeted groups? How does attendance impact achievement? Correlate that attendance data with achievement data. What incentives can be put into place to encourage students to be present for school? And how are we meeting the needs of male and female learners in ELA? And what specific strategies can impact achievement for low SES students and students with disabilities to increase engagement and success in the classroom? What's those strategies for differentiation? And finally, what are some next steps to put into place? Additional supports for guided reading in K2, such as on-site training, coaching with the instructional lead teacher, walkthroughs to support implementation, scholastic short read training for grades 3 to 5 to support continuation of guided reading and provide that continuity, strengthening of the data team process to focus on reading data, professional learning to focus on differentiation strategies for targeted learner groups, such as differentiation for low SES, African American, and students with disability, more focus on multicultural literature, gender in ELA classes, such as reaching out to those males in ELA, but not losing sight of the females and their growth in ELA as well, a reading incentive program, and then finally an attendance program in conjunction with our PBIS rewards program and McTicket Mall. So this has been the Macalester Elementary School data overview. I hope that you have gathered some ideas and some why probing next step questions during this deep dive into student achievement data, demographics, and ELA action steps for Macalester Elementary School.